Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be comparing the OneUp V2 and V3 dropper post and help you guys decide which one's for you. So as you guys can see here, I have a V2 dropper post on my Santa Cruz Bronson, and I have a V3 dropper post on my Norco Optic. So first we're going to get into the actuation of these two dropper posts. So OneUp claims that the actuation on the V3 dropper post is lighter than the V2, and it's definitely noticeable, but it's nothing extraordinary. And something else I wanted to mention is that I am running the same cable and housing on both the V2 and V3 dropper posts, so it's fair and square. There's no extra stiction in the cable, so it's fair and square. Same cable and housing. If you guys have been following the V3 post, you have noticed that OneUp updated the seal on the V3 dropper post with an SKF wiper seal. So what the SKF seal is going to achieve is it's going to keep the post running smoother for a longer period of time. One gripe I have with the V2 dropper post is that the seal doesn't do the best job of keeping the grease inside the dropper post, and it seems that it is escaping and it is making the dropper post have a bunch of stiction as it gets dry. And so I get about 4 to 5 rides and I got to re-grease the dropper post. Some of you guys might have a different experience. It still works, it's just it's not very smooth if you go past like 5 rides. Some of you guys might have a different experience, I'm not sure, but this seal is probably like 6 months old or so. And it should last longer than that, honestly. At least in my opinion, it should. Really sticky pretty often. So I think that the SKF seal was a good move. And I've already put like 15 plus rides on this thing. And it works exactly the same as new. Just as easy to actuate. Just as fast on the ups. Super stoked on the SKF seal. OneUp is cool and has our backs. So they actually have the SKF seal for the OneUp V2 dropper post, so you guys can actually upgrade your V2 dropper post to have the same wiper seal as the V3, which is big in my opinion, because I think that probably solves a majority of the gripes I have with the V2 dropper post. So the main reason I got the OneUp V3 over the V2 for the Norco is because I wanted to slam the post, and since this is a size medium frame, the insertion isn't as long as, like, let's say a large frame. And so I needed something with shorter insertion length than even the V2 dropper post. So the V3 offers a shorter insertion length than the previous V2. And I forgot what the number was exactly, but I'll put it up on the screen along with maybe other specs. And it's definitely shorter, and I was able to slam the post completely down, and it's at the perfect height at, it's 180 mil travel, and it's at the perfect height for efficient pedaling. And so I'm super pumped on that. I just really like my post being as out of the way as possible, and so the OneUp V3 helped me achieve that. So something else that's worth mentioning is if any of you guys have had experience with any OneUp posts that's before the V3, you will have noticed that there's quite a bit of play at the end stroke of the V2 dropper post. If you guys are not familiar with that, I'll insert a clip here so you guys kind of understand what I'm talking about. This isn't a huge deal, as you're not going to feel it on the climbs, nor you're going to feel it on the descents. It doesn't rattle, doesn't do anything. You only can feel it with your hand. So if you guys are somebody that likes super premium feeling products, the V3 is probably the one for you in terms of less play. It has so much less play. And so that's something else I wanted to mention. For me, it's not a huge deal breaker. It doesn't really make a difference. Doesn't make or break a ride or anything like that. So, but it's definitely more refined, which I've found a lot of different things with this post to be more refined. Something that they updated with the V3, pre-charged cartridge for the V3. But in my opinion, this was a good move, and I'll tell you guys why. Is that it feels a lot more consistent. Anytime I press that lever, it feels the same every single time, the same amount of force, and it's always super fast on the ups, and it's super responsive on the downs. So in my opinion, it seems to be more precise and more consistent. Something else I really like about the pre-charged cartridge is that there's no more taking the seat off to top off the air pressure in the like the V2 had. With the V2, you had to take the seat off to get to the Schrader valve to top it off. And if you guys have been riding for more than a month, then you'll know that the seat is a pain in the butt to get off. It's super tedious, and you also have to get the angle right as you had it set before. And so it's just super tedious and not fun to take off the dropper post. And so having this pre-charged cartridge eliminates that from the equation, which is really big for me. I just taking the seat off, oh my gosh, it gives me nightmares, dude. Something else I'll quickly mention before we get into the summary, the top out noise on the dropper post. A lot of people like how some dropper posts have a very distinctive top out when the dropper post is at full extension, and they definitely added more noise on the V3. So the V3 has a more distinctive noise when it tops out versus the V2. It's not anything crazy, but it's definitely a little bit more, it's definitely a little bit louder. So some people dig it, some people don't. So just something I wanted to quickly mention about the V3. Okay, so now for the conclusion and my thoughts. So I would say that the V3 dropper post is a more refined V2 dropper post. I wouldn't say it's a whole new level of performance. It's just more refined and feels more premium over the V2 dropper post. So your guys' thoughts might be, should I upgrade my V2 to a V3 dropper post? And my answer is no. I would probably leave your V2 dropper post until something seriously goes wrong with it and you need a new dropper post anyway. Or I would also consider just getting that SKF seal, because I think that's going to solve a lot of issues that people had with the V3 dropper post or the V2 dropper post. And so that's kind of what I would do. So I am not going to be upgrading my V2. I only got the V3 because I needed a new dropper post. It's not like I had a V2 before. If I had a V2, I probably would shove the V2 in there and call it a day. They're both amazing dropper posts, and anyone will be happy with either. But if you guys are looking for a more refined and premium feeling dropper post, and you have a V2, go, by all means, go for the V3. The V3 is an amazing post, and you guys will not be disappointed by it. But again, I don't think it's worth upgrading to a V3 over a V2. But if you have like some cheap like SDG post, then by all means, I think you guys should go for the V3. If you're already needing a full dropper post anyway, the V3 offers a high level of performance, and it's only going to be a little bit extra money to go for the V3, unless you're getting some really good deal on a V2. If you're getting like a V2 for like, $50 to $80, then just go for that, because that's going to be, you're going to be totally happy with that, and you're going to save a lot of money over the V3. So that's kind of my thoughts. I hope I was able to help you guys out on deciding if the V3 or the V2 dropper post was for you. And if you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comments down below. And if you guys have thoughts or something I might have missed, yeah, please leave a comment down below. I'll get back to you as fast as possible. And if you guys like this style of video, please hit that subscribe button down below. I post videos every single Sunday at 4 p.m. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. You ready? Drop. Oh my gosh, that felt so much cooler.